All right. Well, good evening, everyone. We're so excited to be here for the Fantasy Opera Draft final lineup announcement. I'm so excited.
Me too.
And I just, I just can't tell you how much fun this whole process has been. For us here at Opera Louisiana, it was a brand new world. And when we called these singers to talk with them about being a part of it, we were like, this is just a crazy idea, but it's time for us to get out of get out of our norms in the opera world. And this was a chance to really put that out there for other people to, really have a good time with us, because opera singers, we're fun, right?
You mean I can't be stodgy and stuck in my old ways anymore?
Sorry, Michael, those days have long passed.
Oh
no. Listen, this year's roster of singers is so incredibly talented. Tonight's the night we've been waiting for. We're so fortunate to have all of these singers as part of our roster for this year.
It's right, Leanne. We've got some returning players and some new draft picks that I know our audience will love.
That's right. Well, I know that, our audience is already super excited about these singers because, when you look at the results of the Fantasy Opera Draft, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's been a real back and forth these last couple of days with some of the players getting moved around from day to day. But the bottom line is our audience is stoked to hear these singers this season.
You're absolutely right. Our audience is second to none. I love, one of the things I love about Louisiana is that we do things big. They talk about Texas, it's big, but Louisiana, we know how to do festivals. We know how to do music. Sorry, no offense to Texas. We love you. We'll talk about that in a moment. Right. But I just want to take a moment to acknowledge that over 200 individuals were part of this first ever Fantasy Opera Draft. That's 200 individuals, not little donations from just 200 times. 200 different people participated in this. The majority of them had never given to Opera Louisiana before. We had some of our subscribers get in there, especially at the end. Things got really competitive. But the amazing thing is that you, our donors, our supporters, raised over $17,000 to support these artists this season.
Amazing, amazing. Leanne, I think it's really appropriate that this production of Barbara Seville is sponsored in part by the Fantasy Opera Draft.
No, why is that, Michael?
Well, because the Fantasy Opera Draft was modeled after fantasy football, and you know how much we love football in the South.
That's true. That's absolutely right. And
this production of the Barbara Seville is going to be in a Southern theme. You want to give them a little hint?
Maybe.
Taking me back to my youth, Leanne. Taking me back.
Oh my goodness, Michael. I'm so excited. There's no one else as creative as you. And I just know that this production is going to be so, so much fun. I
got to live up to the hype. I got to live up to it.
I know. Well, now the secret's out. So the expectations are going to be big, just like the hair.
Just like the... Wait, what?
Oh, sorry. No offense.
Okay, sorry.
I mean, look, they're wigs and makeup for that, come on. Don't worry. We've got you covered, literally. Okay, I'm sorry. I have to stop. It's time. We can't wait any longer. It's time to make the announcements. To make the announcement for the roster for this season. Starting with one very amazing singer. Oh, wait. Hold on. I have to produce for a moment. We need to get started on here. Okay, here we are at Fantasy Opera Draft. Nope, we're not. Just kidding.
Where's IT tech support when we need it?
We do need tech support. Okay, apparently I need to share my screen, this will help.
Leanne doesn't like to share.
I have a hard time sharing sometimes, but this is news that I'm excited to share. So let's hope that this works.
Yes.
Come on. Okay. I hope that all of you are seeing this lovely slide of our fantasyoperadraft.org. If you all want to follow along, you can go to fantasyoperadraft.org to check out the roster of singers. It's still there, even though the votes are down. But if you want to check, see who we're talking about. So we're going to get started. No more delaying. we're going to start off with Stephanie Doche, rhymes with Hodge. So Stephanie was with us just this past season as Angelina or Cinderella in our production of Cinderella, and she is amazing. I mean, this girl has coloratura for miles, this woman, excuse me. It's really, really such a beautiful voice, and we're thrilled to have her back this season as a Lunch with Leanne guest artist. Yay, welcome back, Stephanie. We're thrilled to have you. All right, and next up, Michael.
I get the pleasure of introducing my good friend, Ivan Griffin, so talented, and we are thrilled to say that he won the role of Basilio in our Barber of Seville. So welcome, Ivan.
That's right, welcome back. Ivan, is a native of New Orleans, well, of Louisiana. I think he actually grew up in Baton Rouge or closer to Baton Rouge, and I'm gonna get that totally wrong, Ivan. I'm sorry, I should know these things. But we're thrilled to
correct you, don't worry.
I'm sure he will. Go ahead and post about that right now, Ivan. All right, next up we have Evan Hammond. Evan Hammond is our Figaro. Now, this competition got really fierce towards the end. I mean, these are two baritones who are just made for this role. And of course, either one of them would have been excellent in this role. But in the end, Evan pulled ahead with just a few votes beyond Markel. And so he is going to be heard in the role of Figaro in The Barber of Seville.
Yay!
Welcome, Evan.
And next, another great friend, Antoine Hodge. You've seen him many times here for us as Balthazar in Amal and the Night Visitors. It's a gorgeous voice, and he is an amazing human being and a fabulous artist. And we're thrilled he's going to be coming back with a really special Lunch with Leanne guest recital.
Yes, we are. We're so excited. Welcome back, Antoine. All right, next up. Oh, we have the very famous Dennis Jesse. He will be singing the role of Dr. Bartolo in The Barber of Seville. Dennis is a favorite here at home, but let me tell you, he had to work because in those final hours, it was back and forth between him and Ashraf. I mean, it was so close. I think in the end, it was within 10 votes of which one would land this role. But again, everybody wins because everybody's singing in our season. We'll hear about Ashraf in just a few minutes.
Right. Oh, Rick LeCompte. Rick not only is one hell of a nice guy, he's super talented, a fantastic actor, takes beautiful pictures for us every year, happens to be married to one of the most beautiful women in town, Marcia. I hope he realizes how lucky he is. And we are super lucky because he squeaked through to win the role of the narrator and the policeman in Barber of Seville. So congratulations, Rick.
You're right. And listen, talk about fierce competition.
Ooh,
these three gentlemen, we had Doug McDonough, Ed Baker, and Rick LeCompte competing for this role. And at the end, there were only 3 votes that, separated these 3 men. And so Rick actually stepped ahead by 1 vote. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, they were all, fan favorites. So
they are incredible men, super talented, and we love all 3 of them. So
definitely. All right, up next we have Hannah Ludwig. I'm so excited to welcome Hannah. Hannah is new to Opera Louisiane, but we're going to give her most valuable social media player draft pick. I don't know what the initials of that are, MSVP, DFP.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I'm totally just putting out some letters. But Hannah's social media game is amazingly strong. And so if the whole opera singer thing doesn't work out for her, she could just be social media. But it will, because, oh my gosh, gorgeous, gorgeous voice. We're so excited to welcome her in the role of Rosina in The Barber of Seville.
Oh, yay, Hannah. Next up, we have David Margulis. David is an incredible singer. And again, this was a very tight race right at the very end. There was a wide gap there for a while, but boy, David just really pulled up. And we are thrilled, I am personally thrilled, that I get to work with him on keyboard for one of our Lunch with Leanne concerts. It will be a special event, so you don't want to miss that.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it. So then we have our other tenor, Miles Mykkanen. And did I say that correctly?
Mykkanen.
Mykkanen. I knew I was going to mess up. I really did practice, Miles, I promise. Obviously, there was too much bourbon between the practice and now. But anyway, so we're welcoming him as Count Almaviva in The Barber of Seville. And again, he's a new tenor to Opera Louisiane, but man, did the audience come out in favor of him for this. I think everybody's really excited to hear this new voice.
What a great guy. Markel. All right. So I get to talk and gush a little bit about Markel Reed. When I first heard him audition for us a few years ago, I thought to myself, that has to be one of the most gorgeous baritone voices I've ever heard. This guy not only sings, but I mean, he is one of the smartest human beings I have ever met and one of the nicest guys I've ever met. And I'm sad that he's not doing the barber for us, but I am thrilled that he and I get to work one-on-one with one of our Lunch with Leanne special concerts. And you definitely don't want to miss that, folks.
Absolutely. I remember his Papageno. I'll never forget it.
Oh.
I'll also never forget your compliments coming from the pit because, you know, I mean, maestros don't rarely, they rarely hand out compliments. No offense to you, maestro.
Well, listen, they will tell you at LSU, I rarely give a compliment.
All right, next up we have Ashraf Sawalom, and Ashraf was with us for the Elixir of Love. That was our very first major production for Opera Louisiane. This was back in 2012, and he was our Dr. Dulcamara for that, and he was amazing. We've been looking for an opportunity to get him back, and I'm so thrilled that he's part of this season as a Lunch with Leanne guest artist.
Oh, me too. Me too. Kayla Simbira. Miss Zimbira is you set her on stage and she will chew every piece of scenery on that stage. She was born a stage animal and she's got a voice to match. And I am thrilled that she's going to be playing Berta in The Barber of Seville. And watch out for her. She plays sort of a mimic of one of my favorite characters from that 80s TV show that we're sort of basing this on. So watch out for that. It's going to be a star turn for Kayla Simbita.
I can't wait. So next up we have Julie Wright Costa, and our audiences will remember Julie from HMS Pinafore back in 2017. She was our Buttercup, and Julie, I mean, there's not a moment that she's not funny when she's on stage. I mean, she just exudes a character. I mean, and such a beautiful voice, so well trained, so experienced, and we're thrilled to have her as our Lunch with Leanne bonus guest artist for the season. I'm thrilled.
Me too. We're going to put together a really special program for you guys.
Yeah, you've known each other a little while, huh?
Well, she was Dennis's leading lady for, well, I guess I should say he was her leading man for a while at Ohio Light Opera. And Julie, I mean, talk about poise, timing, and just one of the best colleagues on stage you ever want to have. She will take very good care of you on stage, and audiences love her wherever she goes. So Julie, congratulations.
That's awesome. We're so excited to have you. And I just want to say thank you. We're not going to leave this up long, but these are the 200 folks who are part of the fantasy opera draft this year. I mean, it's incredible. And I want all of you to go to operalouisiane.com because now tickets are available for The Barber of Seville and for our Lunch with Leanne season. You can get the whole season package, season subscription right now if you want. And those are incredibly low prices. You know, we want this to be accessible. Opera is going to be different this year. I mean, there's no denying that because of COVID. And we want to take this opportunity to make it accessible to everyone. Our programs are fun. They're going to be just, you know, amazingly fun. And there's something else I'm forgetting, Michael. What else do we always?
We have cocktail hours before every performance.
How could I forget?
I'm just going to put that on out there. And I really think we ought to thank so many of the people that really worked overtime, right? Especially here just in our own office, right? I mean, you know, I know
that's right.
you probably want to reach out and thank them personally, right?
Absolutely. So this whole fantasy opera draft idea was, it was birthed out of a staff meeting, early on in the COVID days on my porch, and we all were socially distant and we're sweating a little bit because it's Louisiana. And, we're throwing out all kinds of ideas. And what I love about this team is that we're all comfortable enough to do that, just throw out those ideas. And so when this came up, everybody embraced it. And man, we had to work through some details of like, how will we make it work? How does it benefit the singers the best? How is it fair for everyone? And, there are some things that in the future we would do a little differently, but overall, this was a great success. And look at the funds that were raised to go towards these singers and our season this year that will make opera possible. So I just want to thank everyone who donated, but I also, especially as you mentioned, want to thank Michelle Wynn. She is our marketing assistant. And I mean, Michelle's so much more than that. She designs our website. She built that fantasy opera draft website. And she creates all these commercials whenever I call and say, hey, I've got another idea. And she's just really amazing. I feel like we're so fortunate to have her. She was supported by Covalent Logic, who's a great firm here in town, who helped us with some of the back end stuff that, just wasn't quite working. I called them on the weekends and panicked. Right. They were amazing.
I know you thought about calling me for help on the website, but.
I didn't. I mean, Michael, you're wonderful at lots of things, but we all have our limitations.
Not that. That's right.
I also want to thank Sinella Agassi, Dr. Sinella Agassi, who is our associate director. She's just amazing and incredible support, keeping all of those votes updated, like on the minute that they came in. So thank you so much for that. And also to Dr. Bill Gallman, who was our ref in that initial video.
Was he fabulous or what?
Fabulous. I mean, I kind of want to do this again just so we can have Bill in his ref outfit doing another.
I've actually had some requests for that. So.
Oh. Well, maybe you'll see that later on this season. Maybe we're going to continue our football theme this season. I want to say thank you to everyone, and especially to our major sponsors and supporters, our Opera Louisiana Board of Directors, and you, Michael, who lead us with such grace and also creativity. I can't say enough. I mean, people are gonna think I'm gushing, but it's true. You're the best. And
we're both married to different people, Leanne. So you got to keep it.
I listen. I can share my love openly, and my husband is totally fine with that. Okay, so
everybody, this is what being apart and without getting to see people in public is like. We get each other. It
does. I will say, I definitely miss my hugs, my Michael hugs. I really do.
Me too.
Yeah. But listen, this season's going to be amazing, and what I'm really looking forward to are, of course, these amazing productions and performances. But I'm looking forward to seeing our audience on Zoom, in these cocktail hours prior to the production. Each production is going to have a cocktail hour ahead of time. And if you don't know about Zoom, you've never tried it before, call me. I will talk you right on through it. My grandmother and I Zoom all the time. And listen, she's an amazing woman, and she's awesome on Zoom. And so I think that I would love to help anybody join us on Zoom, because I miss you all. I miss our people.
Same here. And trust me, you don't have to be constantly engaged in it at all. You can make yourself your drink, turn it on, watch everybody else, listen to the conversation, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Trust me, we see you and we feel you, and we know you're there. So
absolutely. And it's a chance to interact with the artist like you never would have before. So I look forward to seeing all of our patrons from previous seasons and meeting new ones from across the country. I guess that's the benefit of virtual programming, is that we're going to see people that we might not have ever seen at an Opera Louisiana production. So I welcome all of you to join us this season for the Barber of Seville, Lunch with Leanne, and many more things coming up this year. Thank you so much, Michael, for joining me tonight for this big announcement.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, we're going to close things out, and we just hope that you all have a great night, and go to operalouisiana.com to buy your tickets for this season. Thank you so much, and have a great night.
See you soon, everybody. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.